few people have said to me, Carnival's not happening next year because of what's going to happen this year. Now, is that a mad thing to go into Carnival thinking?
I don't think so. I think this has been an argument that's been happening best part of maybe about 15, 20 years now, that they've been wanting to move it to Hyde Park and they've been wanting to do all sorts of stuff. Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, the community and the culture have got to hold itself responsible and accountable to make sure that if we're seeing that people are trying to stop what we're doing and stop our progression, we've got to make sure our progression doesn't stop. And that means if we're seeing things like barriers and stuff ain't going up and all sorts of things like that, we've got to make sure that gets out there in the news and make sure it's all over social media. I mean, if you want to get a story out, you ain't got to go to BBC no more. No. You just go onto all the social media outlets, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is. Get your story out there because we've got to make sure we protect what we have. I mean, Carnival isn't my culture, but ultimately it's our culture that we're all here. And it's in our interest to protect what we have to make sure it ain't taken away from us. This argument about Hyde Park and all that isn't a new thing. There's a couple things on that point as well, but definitely it's in the interest. If we're seeing these things happening, we've got to make sure it's being seen and known so that when things do happen, we can say, well, we was aware of these things. We tried to let people know and nothing happened. That's got to be done from now, definitely.
Supamaks, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I can see why people may think, like the people that have been kind of giving you their conspiracy theories. I can understand that. But even like what Wiley's saying, you know, us going on socials and expressing what we feel, is it really going to make a change? Because at the end of the day, the government or the people that put on Notting Hill Carnival, they call the big shots. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is the thing though, innit? It's ultimately, it's a community event that gets a lot of funding, but it gets funding. We was talking about this a couple weeks back actually, about the fact that there was a big issue about funding for the carnival. And that in itself is a problem. Why are we having to worry about the carnival being funded, something that brings in so many millions? But and I hear your point about social media isn't gonna make an immediate change, but it will galvanize the attention to be on, hold on, Carnival every year there's barriers. Why have we got no barriers this year? What's going on? And it's not even about talking about the conspiracy. It's just a matter of safety and saying, you know what's going on? Why have we not got the safety elements in place for barriers? I mean,
do you think that will stop people from going?
It won't stop people from going, but it may make the people that are the organisers and those putting the things in place that should be in place to have to forcibly put it in place.
But remember, it's not the issue that people are ultimately running from Carnival is the potential onset of Arms House. So like if we go back to Originals, for example, Originals got locked off because they sold out. Yeah. So the promoters have done their job as far as I'm concerned. You promote a dance to the point that the whole of London wants to come. Now, people came down there after being told there's no payments on the door. If you ain't got a ticket, you can't come in. Apparently, there was over 1,000 people outside trying to get in. Now, it doesn't matter, unless you got 1,000 security on the other side of that gate, people are getting in if they're trying to push in. And this is the thing, we keep talking about Wireless. What happened at, not Wireless, we keep talking about Originals. Remember Wireless, Finsbury Park?
Yeah.
Where the man then brought down the thing, then there was the couple years ago where the man then went into KFC and they were helping themselves. But because
in Finsbury Park?
In Finsbury Park, blood. With cheese, you know what I mean? But those things get faded away because the people that are behind
what
it,
you did there, yeah? Carry on.
The people that are behind it have ultimately have more money than the guys that run Originals. Originals, I believe, is 3 front men and there might be some men behind the scenes. But ultimately, people just ran in and then the police locked it off. Sands was a bit different. I think Sands. I think we can talk about that separately. But in regards to Notting Hill Carnival, I think you're right. I think, Wiley, I think it comes to a point where people have to be understanding that this thing could get locked off. And I don't think it's next year. But
you think there's a couple more years?
I think there's a couple more years. Well, you think it's going to lock off next year?
No, I like Wiley said, I've been hearing it for so long. This is going to be the last carnival. You know what I mean? It's going to get moved to Hyde Park and it just continues. So I can't really say this is going to be the last year, but I just think the that will have that mentality, they're just going to still carry on with their badness.
They are, and that's the thing. Like us with a platform as well, and like even like there should be a under the radar campaign that's not necessarily funded by anyone, where people who create content, like people who have X amount of 1,000 followers, should all do a script which is saying, Notting Hill Carnival, it's an institution, we need to keep it. Go down there, enjoy yourself, no violence, no arms house. That's what it should be. Like, enjoy yourself. It's one of the few places you can go and it's a free party with good music, good DJs, good atmosphere, and it's just completely free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at the moment, if that gets taken away, what are your options? You've got to go to Leeds. I think Leeds Carnival's on the same day as Notting Hill. Or you go Bristol Carnival, which is 2 roads.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
You don't know?
Yes. Listen, I'm telling you, if the way that I look at it, if you don't keep what you have, others will take it away from you. And I can't blame the youths that are carrying on with badness these days, because the same badness was happening back in the day.
True.
It was the same thing. People was getting rushed. People was getting bottled, wet up. It was all happening. It was all happening. It's just that now it's at a level where, because of social media, because people are making their plans and they're really going out there in force, we're more aware of it. But I think it's also in the interests of the government and the police, especially, who don't like having to fund going down to Carnival. They don't like it. They've been saying it for years. It costs them so much money. They want it moved into a park for their own purposes. It's in their interest to make as much of a problem for it to happen. But ultimately, I saw a video a couple of days ago. There was somebody was talking about the fact they're going to have facial recognition cameras on around Carnival.
Yeah.
And she was saying, well, you know what? People are all saying they're against it, but what is your alternative? I'm all for it. There was a guy that got
That's gonna make no change.
No, you say that. There was a guy that got stabbed to death in Hackney last year, and the guy that they were looking for went Carnival and got arrested at Carnival.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He got arrested at Carnival because they was able to track him. And my point being is that it's not just about having it for people that have done stuff before, but if something happens in there, you also want to be able to say, you know what, I can be able to trace someone back to this area, this area, this area. We need to have a plan, ultimately. And what is our plan as a community to ensure we keep Carnival as it is meant to be? That's the issue.
I'm sorry to say, and I know many will disagree, but if we're gonna, can I swear?
You already swore about 6 times already.
Exactly.
So
All that's going to happen is it will just get bleeped out.
Really?
We're not live on Instagram, so you know what I mean. So
I'm not allowed to swear. Wiley never told me I can't swear.
Well,
man.
from you did the first swear.
Hold on, you introduce yourself with the negative language.
No, that's a BC. That's a BC.
So what that then?
Instagram and Facebook don't take them ones off. But when you're saying the big ones that you were saying, like when you said the first one, the producer had a heart attack. You had to look it off.
No, he didn't. He was like, "That's my guy." That's my guy. All right. So, yeah. All right. If we are gonna mess it up, then I'm in the frame of mind. Would let them stop it.
So you're one of them ones that are saying, "Oh, black people mess up everything."
I never said that.
You said we though. If we are gonna mess
I'm
it up,
talking about humans. I'm talking about humans. If we are gonna mess up the thing, then we don't deserve it.
Okay.
So I'm saying, if let me think of an analogy. If you got a child, and you tell your child be back at 10 o'clock, and every time your child comes back later than 10, then your child don't deserve to go out anymore.
Right.
So let's take it away. Like you said, it's been happening for years. Nothing has changed. Bottles are still gonna get dashed, wet up, So let's just take it away.
Yeah.